Hi everybody, I'm Michael. This is a 5-minute review for Nancy Drew number 6, Secret of the Scarlet Hand. This is the game where Nancy is an intern at a museum in Washington, D.C. This game did not make much of the Washington, D.C. location. I really do like how the map is the Washington, D.C. metro, but they really could have had more. Like, this could have taken place in any city and the game would be pretty much exactly the same. So that's kind of a downer. They're having this big Mayan exhibit. Specifically, like, we have this Pakal piece and a big monolith, and it's okay. We start off with Nancy doing chores where she has to meet everybody and learn where things are, and that's fine. I like the characters in this game. Taylor Sinclair is fantastic. I love him. The other characters aren't so good, though, actually. I mean, they're not bad, it's just I don't think any of them are particularly interesting. So, Henrik's fine, actually, I like him. Alejandro, he's basically there to be good looking and to ask for documents about the Pakal carving. That's basically what he does. So we talked to him once at the beginning of the game, and like in the second half of the game, he just wants more documents. He basically blackmails Nancy into giving him documents, which is not nice. Joanna Riggs is Nancy's boss, and she's okay. I like her design. She sort of disappears for the second half of the game, and so does Henrik. That's one of my problems with the game. Like, second half, last third, somewhere around there, the game just becomes terrible as all of the characters leave. Nancy's left alone. She's put in charge of the entire museum because there's literally nobody else there. And then what do? A bunch of phone calls. That's what we do. Nancy's supposed to get six different pieces in order to form a key which opens up the monolith, and inside she finds this very valuable that's the end of the game. The culprit attacks her there and tries to lock her in the monolith while stealing these very valuable ancient Mayan records. And it's really cool how all these things come together, but it requires a lot of phone calls, and I don't like that. We've got a lot of long, slow phone calls with Franklin Rose. I don't particularly care for him that much. Prudence Rutherford's funny. Poppy Dada is also funny. We have Poppy Dada's father. I don't think he's funny. Sheila from Chaco Canyon Cultural Center is interesting. You have to call her twice, I believe. But yeah, that's like 5-minute phone calls that you do just all in one group at this end of the game because there's nothing else you can do because there's nobody else to talk to. You can kind of intersperse it with a puzzle of Henrik. Henrik gets like thrown down a tower. It's never explained, did he fall or if he was pushed, and he gets amnesia, so you need to find a bunch of things to help trigger his memory, and that's kind of cool. You also like go through the entire pyramid. So there's a pyramid inside this game, and it's got 3 different levels, and each level has a bunch of different puzzles. And this gets to the thing that I don't like so much about this game, is it's an educational game. It's fine that the game has an educational aspect, but with this one, you are just constantly running back and forth between all of the various exhibits to do everything. I did learn stuff. I learned the Maya numbering system, and that's cool. But like doing the numbering exhibits, actually that one's fine. But unless you're taking notes or pictures with your phone, you're going to go back and forth between the notes in Nancy's room and then the actual numbering exhibit. And then there's the headphones thing where you have to constantly go back and forth between every single exhibit. That's a huge pain. And when I was talking about the temple earlier, so like you've got at least 6 different things on each level of the temple that require you to go back and go through every single thing in the museum again. So like trivia questions are the Maya glyphs. And just you're supposed to memorize them. There's like a big matching puzzle with the Mayan glyphs, and it's like, oh my gosh, was I supposed to be taking notes and draw every single glyph in the entire game? That's so I don't really like that particular aspect of the game so much. Another problem with those phone calls is that you can only make some phone calls from certain areas. So Nancy can only call Franklin Rose from inside the museum, and she can only call Poppy Dada from her hotel room. So you kind of have to go back and forth between the hotel room and the phone inside, and that's kind of a huge pain. This game introduces Sunny June, which is funny. He's a great character. Also introduces Coco Kringles, which is great too. Taylor Sinclair's office, you have to, like, he's got these disgusting cookies from Oaxaca, and you have to put it on a painting, which is always a fun puzzle. There's a lot of fun lines in this game. I think Joanna has some fun ones. Like, she's like, oh no, what's gonna happen next? Oh, I forgot to mention, halfway through the game, the museum gets robbed. The culprit leaves a scarlet handprint at the crime scene, and that's a big investigation there, is to figure out where just to figure out, whose hand it is and then where the stolen carving is. And that ties back into Henrik's story. And I'm out of time. So thank you very much. Did I get my score? I forget if I get the score. Anyway, 8 out of 10? 8 out of 10. So I'd rate this slightly below game number 3, but above game number 2. I like game number 2 more, but this is like sort of objectively a better game than game number 2. So they're sort of tied in my opinion.